STLC. So the concept which we are studying right now is STLC, which is a software testing life cycle. If at all you want to develop a particular software, what are all the various stages involved that falls under a software development life cycle, right? SDLC. If we want to develop an application, all the stages we have seen, like gathering of requirements, the planning, designing and development, delivery and maintenance, in middle testing is there, all these things, right? So if at all we got any application for testing, so what are all the various stages involved for any application to test it? We call it as a testing life cycle, which is a software testing life cycle. So the software testing lifecycle has a multiple phases like a test planning, test analysis, test design, execution, and a test closure. So these activities are related to only testing, guys. Planning, analysis, design, execution, and a closure. All these testing activities, all these activities are related to testing itself. Then, as part of today's session, let's see a high-level overview on what exactly the individual phases does. As part of this planning, either the manager or a leads will play a major role. Test manager and a test lead will play a major role as part of this planning phase. They will prepare a high level and a detailed plan and approach for testing the application. So as part of this planning phase, those guys will prepare a detailed plan and approach of testing the application. If we have something, we should be having a proper plan, right? So as part of this planning phase, they will list all those things. What comes under this planning phase? An example is, assume that this is what our application is, and this is what we are developing. And I told you that, buddy, I'm not developing contact us and pay now functionalities. These two features we are not developing. If at all we are not developing, is there any point for you guys to test those features? No point, right? If I am not developing, what you will test in that particular features? So that's the reason here, as part of this planning phase, first we will prepare features to be tested and features not to be tested. Okay, we will prepare a list out over there. In the entire application, these are all the only features that I want to test. These are all the features that I'm not going to test. We just need to prepare that features breakdown here as part of this planning phase. Not only this one, additionally, we will say that how many resources are working in a project, what are all their designations, and all these details we will be discussing in the planning phase itself, right? So additionally, what we will be considering as part of this planning means, so okay, the functionalities to be tested and functionalities not to be tested, followed by resources, work schedule, and all other chunk will be prepared as part of this planning. Good. And once we have a planning, the next phase is an analysis phase. In this analysis phase, okay, what we will do means we will try to understand more about the customer and application too, and their requirements. Why? What it will happen if we don't understand about a customer? If I don't know anything about a customer, what it will happen? If I didn't understand more about the customer business line, what it will happen? A simple example is, assume that Apple is launching iPhone 14 Pro Max mobile next month, and I want to purchase a mobile. Before purchasing the mobile, I will do a round of analysis on that. What are all the features they are offering? What are all the best features they have when compared to any other competitors in the mobile? All these things I will compare, and then I decide that, okay, because of these advantages, it's good for me to purchase this iPhone Pro 14 Pro Max. And once I purchase that mobile, I will use those features. For suppose, if I don't know anything about the features available in iPhone 14 Pro Max, Okay, I can simply use that mobile only for dialing and only for a receiving purpose itself. I will just give a ring and I will just get an incoming call for that. Though I purchased a mobile worth at 1,250 dollars, I just use it for calling and a receiving functionality if I don't know the advantages of all those things. The similar way, as a tester, whenever you are testing the application, if you know more about the customer, if you know more about their business need, if you know more about the application, then you can test the application in an effective way. For that reason, you guys need to do a round of analysis on the application, and you should understand more about that particular application. And then the next phase is a design phase. In the design phase, we will prepare certain test cases. Okay, we will prepare certain test cases and we will verify whether, okay, we have a covered test cases for the requirements or not. The test cases means what to test and how to test. As part of a manual testing, this test cases is the most important chunk for us, which we need to focus on, that we need to look into. The design phase, the test cases design that we will see moving further. Anyways, the individual phases we will see moving further with an examples. And finally execution. So once after developer confirm that, buddy, I'm done with the development, then we will jump on to the execution phase. We will jump on to the execution phase and we will start executing our test cases. Okay, we will start executing our test cases. And finally the closure phase. This closure phase will come at the end, where in which, okay, as part of this closure phase, okay, we will be verifying whether, okay, whether what are all the documents we have prepared in a testing phase. Everything we will share it with the customer. What are all the documents and things you have prepared as part of a testing, we will share the whole information with the customer as part of this closure phase, guys. Done the deal. Any questions for me on this closure so far, everyone? Perfect. Done the deal. This is an overview about a software testing lifecycle. In detail about this software testing lifecycle, let us start from the next session, guys.